Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the Bitcoin price being at 53,000, and who knows what it's going to be when I post this video, actually upload it to YouTube and have it go live. It could be even higher, maybe a little bit lower, but probably higher. And today we're going to be talking about buying ASICs and hosting or mining them on your own property. So if you think that's interesting, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and go to cryptollc.org if you're looking to buy yourself some ASICs, GPUs, or if you want to host, want us to build you a farm, whatever you want to do, we provide all of that at cryptollc.org. And of course, Bitcoin saves your wealth. We all know that, but Jesus Christ saves your soul. All right, so let's get started. So we have this farm here, 2.2 megawatt farm. And today's video, we're going to be talking about buying miners. So there are various miners you can buy. These miners over here, these are the S19s, just regular old S19. It's not the J. It's not the Pro, it's not the J Pro, it's not the XPs or S21. These are the regular S19s. So you might be wondering, why did we get S19s? Well, one of the biggest reasons why we got S19s is because of the price. These miners are all used. All of these are used. They were not new. So we got a very good price on used miners. You can get like 50% off or maybe even 70% off the price of a new miner. A lot cheaper, way better in terms of ROI. Now you might be thinking, what about quality? What about how long do they last since they're used? Well, S19 series are such solid miners that the hash boards run without any issue. They run great. We bought 380 S19 regular miners, not the J, not the Pro, just regular old S19, the first series one. We bought 380 of those. And out of 380, only 10 hash boards. So each miner has 3 hash boards. Only 10 hash boards actually had an issue. We had to send them out for repairs. After about 2 weeks of working, they had an issue. We sent them out. We repaired them. Now repair costs are about like $1,000, $2,000 to repair them, which is a lot cheaper than going new. You go new, you're paying double the price, maybe even triple the price for new, and you're not getting much better. It's basically the same thing. All of these are running just fine. They're running for about 8 months, just fine. They're all on brains. They all run great. They don't have like network issues, or they don't have crashing issues. They don't just go offline for no reason. They all run perfect. Great miners. So what we recommend for our clients and for anyone that's buying miners is do not buy new. Okay, do not buy new. It is a waste of money. Just buy used, especially if it's 50% or 70% off. Just buy used. You can get 3 times the amount of miners, or maybe twice the amount of miners for the same price, and they run just fine. They run great. You know, let me show you guys from the inside what they look like, and you'll see that what they look like as they came used, and what they look like after running for 8 months. You can see that. They're great. They run fine. You got that general like dust, accumulation of dust and particles that gets onto these metal protection. They'll round the protectors for the fan so you don't chop your fingers off. So these round protectors, that's regular residue from the air. That happens on all miners. We ran some S19J Pros and S19 Pros. After about 6 months, they have that on all the miners. And especially after a year, they have it on all the miners. So these ones have it as well, but again, no issue, running just fine. And not only that, but all of these miners are run overclocked. They're a little bit overclocked. They're running at 3400 overclock on brains. So not only are these miners used, they're used and they're overclocked, meaning that we're giving it a little bit more juice, we're giving it more power. They're running a little bit faster, which in turn would mean that they should be less stable because they're overclocked, but that's not the case. They're used, they work great. Not only do they work great overclocked, just fine. No issues at all. And that's it, perfect miner. So that's one miner. There's also S19J Pros. It's more efficient. You get 5 points of efficiency, which is a pretty good amount of efficiency. but they cost a good amount more. They are not like close to the same price as S19s. They do cost more, but you do get 5 points of efficiency. On an S19, you get 35 efficiency or 35 watts of terahash. On the S19Js and J Pros, you get 30 or 29.5 technically, but it's 30, we just go with 30. You get 30 points of efficiency. So then when you put those into low power mode, let's say if you wanted to run them in low power mode, your low power mode on S19J Pro on Brains is going to be around 25, which is very close to S19K. And if you run the S19s in low power mode, you're going to get 27.5, which is better than an S19J in regular. So those are all details that we can help you kind of navigate if you wanted us to build a farm for you, or you wanted some recommendations of what miner to go with. You have to look at the price, you have to look at how you want to run them. You want to run them in full power mode, you want to run them overclocked, you want to run them in low power mode. Which way do you want to run them? And we'll be able to determine for you which miner to go with, and also provide a very good price for them, especially used. It's a lot easier to get used. Also, another thing to keep in mind when you're talking about used versus new is that when Bitcoin goes up, which it is up right now at 53,000, when it goes up, the lead time for miners goes way up, meaning that you wanted to go buy yourself some S19, let's say S19K, brand new, it's going to be a lot harder now to find yourself 200 units or 100 units or 50 units, because as Bitcoin rose in price, so the quantity went down. Everyone bought all the miners, or most of the miners. So now you might be asking, hey, I want to get some S19Ks brand new, and they're not available. They're, the lead time can be 3 months away. That's as soon as you get them. So that's one of the secondary benefits of used miners, is that you can go and get used miners now. You can place an order, and they'll arrive in 2 weeks. Like I said, our order, actually maybe not in this video, in the previous video I was talking about how we got another client that's coming in and hosting 96 miners with us. So that client was able to purchase used S19 J Pros. They're not the regular ones. He wanted the J Pros, which is also a great miner. But he wanted the J Pros, and he got those, and they're arriving in 2 weeks. So basically, not only were we able to find those miners, we were able to find 96 of them and purchase them, and then they're coming in 2 weeks. We didn't have to wait a couple of months lead time to get new ones. Also, our client saved a lot of money. It was a lot of money saved, about around 50% saved, rather than going new. That's a huge difference. So let's, if you're going to invest $100,000 into miners, used miners, you would be investing $200,000 into new miners. As you can see, that's twice the amount of money. So it's a huge difference. And we're talking about scale. As you scale things up, as you go from just 100 miners to 1,000 miners, now you're talking about spending an extra 500,000 or an extra $1 million over what you would actually spend. And then also this also ties into the fact of the ROI. How fast do you want to get your money back? And obviously, if you spent twice the amount of money on miners, it's going to increase your ROI by 2x. Now, instead of waiting 8 months to get your money back, or 6 months, or whatever it is, now you're waiting a year or year and a half because you went with new. So all those things are to consider when building out your mining facility, or buying miners, or even hosting with us. We have hosting available at this farm. We've got about 1,000 spots available. So what we would recommend is jump in, get as many spots or slots as you can, and go with used miners, and just run them in low power mode. Get that great efficiency from a used miner, run it in low power mode, and you can get them really cheap right now, really cheap. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys like it. We'll go over these details about new versus used. And again, this is coming from a real miner. We've been doing this for about 8 years. What I mean by real is I'm not, we at Crypto LLC actually run the farms. We're not just some corporate bureaucrat sitting somewhere up and bean counting the business here. We actually run it. So we know how they run. We know how they feel. We basically have our fingers on the pulse of all of these miners. I know how they breathe. I know how they run. So we know what price they should be priced at, a good price for them, and how great they run and all that, rather than just giving you some bureaucratic answer. It's actually from a real life. We are on the site, we're on the ground, we run the miners, we know how they run, and we know what to recommend. But that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys like it. Until next time, goodbye.